Hello, everyone. This is Brian, aka Texas Treasures, bringing you today's Reseller Rewind. And it's been a while since I've done one. Try and get back in the saddle again. I don't think Clay's going to be here today. I think he's out in the stroll neighborhood. Hello, Jody. Hello, Scott. So we will be, speaking of Scott, Dumpster Diver Dad, and Kevin, aka the Thrifting Lounge. Normally we'll be doing Thursday night. Our Thursday night live show is about 7 p.m. Central. I had to miss this past one, had something come up, a family gathering that was unplanned for. So that's why we didn't have it this past week. Hello, Danica. How are you doing? But it's Friday, finished the reselling work week, and just kind of want to do a live show to kind of recap and end the work week. So you can kind of see the talking points scrolling on the bottom. So feel free to chime in. And if anybody actually wants to jump on, let me know, and I can send you out the invite. All right, let's see. They're scrolling. What was number one? Number one. By the way, man, love some Broncos. Reseller workspace and how it affects you. So what about you guys? What is your reselling workspace? Mine has a bronze cup in it right now. Got cameras and a mess right now, to be honest. And that was one of the things we were talking about this morning on our Patreon call. I kind of noticed for myself, like I've been so focused on listing, shipping and listing, that when I get to the end of the day, I'm tired and I don't really want to clean up. And my area is messy in here. I've been moving some of my bigger items. Some of my stuff I'm going to be taking to Trader's Village when Clay and I go out there to sell those items that really aren't worth listing on eBay. And some bigger items I've been moving to my storage unit to create more in my garage. But I think I need to do a better job of kind of cleaning up my work area, especially the shipping work area each day. And speaking of Trader's Village, so what we were thinking is, my original thought was, let's go ahead and get a permanent place out there. I think it's like $280 a month at the flea market to be able to move some bigger items and items that aren't worth listing on eBay. But Clay and I were talking the other day, and I think what we've decided to do to start with is to take a bunch of stuff out there and spend a Saturday, maybe a weekend, and let's see what it's like to unload and to sell out there, to kind of test the waters before we jump all in. I do have my reseller's permit, so I can rent the place. But the only drawback to that is the time commitment. So I want to make sure it's really going to be worth it. And then if it is worth it, I will probably train someone to work out there for me, because I don't want to be working 7 days a week. Might not have a family if I do that. Danica said, I just filmed a dirty office, and after I cleaned it. Ooh, I'd like to see that. You want to throw the link in here? Throw the link in here. Let's take a look at it. We'll do a reactionary video. Maybe it'll inspire me to clean up my dirty workstation. And that's kind of the point, right? And if you guys know Chris or Daily Refinement, his whole thing is how to be as efficient and productive as possible. A lot of big companies do this, right? A real lean, organized, efficient workspace. And that is not me. Here, I'll show you. I'm a little embarrassed, but I will show you. This is my listing table. Golly, it's a mess, right? Got my trash in the box over there. I've got tape guns just strewn, business cards, wrapping paper, things to list, my journal. And over here, I got my bins. These right here. Now, I do have 2 part-time listers. So what I have been doing is doing the research. So I'll stick a little sticky note on the items, and then they'll come in the evenings and list it. I'll put the pricing, the keywords, and whatnot. So this table is for them to list. And then back here behind me, and I have made, let me see if you can, it's hard to do this. Callie. All right, let's see. Yeah, behind me, sorry if I'm making it sick. The whole table behind me was filled up, and I pretty much cleared it out. I'm now working on books and cookbooks. I've got one more small table on the floor, which I need to process through and list. Now, Friday night, my auction place in person, they do Friday nights, and it's kind of killing me because I really wanted the auction because I bought some really good things there and buy some more. But I'm trying to be disciplined. Good is it when you buy stuff if you can't list it for 2 or 3 weeks? So I said I'm going to go ahead and list what I have first before I acquire new inventory. And so I'm trying to be good with that. I've also been doing a little, Scott might appreciate this, a little RA, a little retail arbitrage this week, picking things up that are new based on comps, if I can get them at the right price to flip them online. So I've been doing a little bit of that also. So that is, so that's something I need to do in my workspace. Here's another, speaking of listers, my lister, put him out here. And I'll share this with you. He just sent me a text message that 2 more watches sold. I bought a big lot of watches. Many of them were not working. And then I bought a bunch of batteries and a watch kit. And I changed out a few of the batteries, but I just don't have enough time. Like I have so much to list. So I asked Andrew if he would, go through them, test them, change out the batteries, list them, let him sell them on his eBay account, and then we're doing he can keep 2/3 money and then 1/3, and it seems to be working. Like I think he sold 4 or 5 watches already. Anywhere I don't know what those 2 sold, but $20 to $30 range, and I'm getting these pretty cheap. So that might be a good thing to continue. Let him do that from his home, and then it's a win-win. All right, let's see. Yeah, I know Scott does a lot of Amazon and the RA. I'm not doing it on Amazon. I'm just sticking with eBay. But I've already sold one of the items for a nice little profit. And I've actually got several of these products I've picked up. And, unfortunately, and Scott knows this, with RA, you can't really go into details on a YouTube channel when it comes to new inventory because then the market would be dead, it would be flooded. I don't mind sharing one-offs because you got to kind of hunt for those treasures. And I do have a Bolo today we'll talk about in a little bit. All right, Jody says, I love my workspace. I got it the way I want it finally. It's like a cockpit sort of area. My workstation can, yeah, that's good, Jody. That's kind of like what mine is too. I'm right here on the computer. And to my left, right over here, now mine's a messy. To my left is the light box, and then I've got on my table so I can kind of work from this area. And then when it's time to ship, it's just right down the table. So everything is confined. I have the Rolo thermal printer, which also really sped up the shipping process. So I think that's a good setup, Jody. I bet your area is cleaner than mine though. My wife always tells me, she comes in and she's like, oh my gosh, how do you work out here? Even my kids are like, so messy. It's just like a mad scientist, right? I know where things are at mostly, but I also know if I got it more organized, cleaned up, I would be more efficient. And we're supposed to be sending pictures to Chris on Monday. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know, it's gonna be embarrassing to have to own my messy workspace. Oh, it's all good, Jody. 2X. Do you use BrickSeek? I've heard of that. Here, I'm going to write that down. I don't have my donut box like Clay has, but I do have my reseller notebook. Date, important stuff I highlight, and I review this. I did share this with the group, the Patreon group, and that's one of my contributions. I know Chris is now using the Cornell the Cornell note method that I recommended to the group. And I was telling them about the benefits of going back to review the material and how that seeks. It's just a better working system, because you can take all these notes and there's so many nuggets that come at us. Like right now, Scott just gave that nugget, BrickSeek. And if you think about it, we just write it down and we forget about it. But if you will, what I do is each morning before my Patreon call, I go back over the previous days and I kind of look over it, especially the highlight, and make sure I haven't missed anything. The other thing I'll do is once a week, usually Monday morning or Sunday evening, I will review that whole week's worth of notes. Because if you think about it, guys, with YouTube and Patreon groups, there's just so much good info out there. It's impossible to act on everything, but you know, if you could the night before write a couple of things you want to accomplish the next day, and then make sure you accomplish those things. And for the week, like, what's your bigger thing that you want to accomplish for the month? Hey, Mike, how you doing? Glad you could stop by. Triple D, hanging out. Yeah, I need to go, Scott. I have been by the dumpster times, and I've struck out. I'm 0 for 3. There's a Kirkland's not far from me, and like on the mornings, if I'm out, if I go running in the mornings, I usually stop by, and I haven't had any luck yet. I know all that stuff is probably just being persistent, and I don't know how busy Kirkland's is since they reopened. You know, if I ever find something, I bring my stuff. I'll shoot a video. The $9.95 subscription. Can you refresh my memories, Scott? What that service does? And by the way, if you want to come on here, I'm gonna put the link. Might be easier, Scott, if you could pop on. I don't know, but I'm gonna put it in the chat. Else that wants to pop on? Jump in Clay's co-captain chair. There's Jay. I think Val was looking for you on one of, I think it was on Clay's live that he did the other day. I bought a used 55-gallon fish tank and a wooden fish stand for it. My son has a pet turtle, and the small 10-gallon tank is not cutting it. So I used my reselling skills and got those two things at a really good deal. Good to see you're doing well, Mike. Are they open yet? I think, yeah. I think, of course, it was like I came by there like 8 a.m. So they hadn't open the times I've been by, but I'm pretty sure they open, unless I'm mistaken. And there's the link. Anybody wants to jump on. Talking point number 2, increasing ASP, average sell price. Just kind of looked at some of my from my reseller book, and I did a Poshmark closet review for this lady on Poshmark, and those were low, and she showed me how to improve those sales. And as I went through her closet, it became pretty clear really quickly it was selling. She only had like a 6% sell-through rate based on my calculations. And with clothing, you should expect about 11%. That's the average. But then I was looking at her brands. It was like Morona, Faded Glory. There were some, Walmart, Target, some lower end brands. She was doing bundles, 4 for $15. And think about the time it takes to source, to list, and to ship. There's no way you can make money selling low end brands like that. So that's what I was telling her. I was like, you need to source better inventory. Oh, there's Scott. Scott's in the green room. Yeah. Hey, Scott. How's it going?
Hey. Good. How's it going?
Good. It's been a while.
It has been a while. We were supposed to go on yesterday, but things happened. So.
Yeah. And I was telling everybody Thursdays, 7-ish Central, normally when we'll be going live. And yeah. I was just talking about this lady and trying to increase her average sell price, and I think that's something everybody should be striving to do. And
yeah, even with Amazon, that's what I'm trying to do. You know, you want to make more profit for your money. So, you know, even, you know, picking up something for $5, you want to double it and make 10. You know, so yeah, it's a grind, but the more you make, the more you can buy, right?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Do you have like a you're out seeing for Amazon or anywhere else as far as ASP or ROI you're looking for?
Yeah, I try to go for at least 50%. I'd rather have the 100%, of course, ROI. And I do have products that do that, but and then I have some that do 25%, but it sells quick. So it's like, you know,
Right.
send it in. It's like flying off the shelves, you know, and that's always nice to do. So yeah, but like yesterday, I was looking for stuff for Halloween. So that tells you how far in advance.
So you're always,
Look.
so you're always thinking ahead. What about 3 months, 3-4 months
Yeah,
out?
3 4 months. Yep. I was looking at Halloween costumes that I sold last year, trying to source them now wholesale, and I was doubling my money buying them from Costco, and I want to make more this year. So I'm talking to the manufacturers down in Southern California and trying to see if I could buy 50 of each size at a time or whatever. So
Yeah. Um, hmm. I'm just kind of curious now that you're talking about Halloween. I wonder what it's going to look like in the context of Halloween and how
I
that
know. That
affect
is the
everything.
question. If we can go out and all that stuff, and if there's parties, yeah, that's the only thing I'm scared about. So I haven't pulled
Right.
the trigger on anything yet, but hopefully everything will go back to normal. We can, you know, get the economy going and stuff like that by next school year at least, right?
Right. And I know with all this, like online sales have been up, especially Amazon and eBay. And
Mm-hmm.
so, talking to you behind this in our group that you've been doing well.
Yep.
And so either way, you're probably if are still kind of locked down, I would assume you're still going to do. But if we're
Yeah.
open up to things like Halloween with official,
Yeah. It'll just depend on how deep I want to go on one product, you know. So I was selling costumes and wreaths, you know, at Halloween, you know. So I think those would do good on eBay too. I think I'm gonna try to source those and selling them on eBay and Poshmark for Halloween because I think the wreaths will do good either which way. So, but yeah, it's always a grind. But I know 2 years ago I was looking right now for school books for the fall semester, you know. So how things have changed, you know. So my whole business
that's
totally changed from doing that. So
yeah, that's what I was working on right before I came on. I bought a couple of lots of cookbooks real cheap from
mm-hmm.
the state. So, and you guys don't know, cookbooks can do really well.
Yeah, especially
Um,
the old Betty Crocker ones.
yeah, I've actually got a couple of those I got listed today.
Yep,
And
and you can usually get those pretty cheap at garage sales and Julia Roberts. Those are also really good cookbooks to pick up. They'll sell pretty quick. So,
right, yeah. Cookbooks.
but
I like listing books because they're easy, they're quick, easy
yep,
to look up.
yep. The books are really nice for all that. You could easy to pick up because everybody has books, and they're usually just sitting on the shelf, so you can usually just buy a lot of them or buy a whole bunch, boxes of them, So it's definitely more of a grind doing books, but the money's there, the profit's there for sure.
Definitely, definitely. Um, let's see. I guess 2 and 3 I kind of combine. Like we were also talking about that this week. Like how has the pandemic changed
Mhm.
reselling? But more importantly, like are people factoring that? Like if things flare up again,
Mhm.
how should we prepare for that ahead of time? Like should we be stocking up on fitness equipment? Just kind of being aware of that possibility and how might we plan for that? That was kind
Well,
of the question.
before I had one of my VAs looking for fitness equipment a year ago for eBay, to resell on eBay, and the profits were there. and you could definitely get some good bands and stuff like that and workout stuff. But the shipping is the cost. So to buy anything from Alibaba and have it shipped here and then ship it to your customer, that's where you run into the problems. That's why I know that's why lots of people like to do the drop shipping and stuff like that. But,
yeah, and
if I knew what I knew now, I would definitely stock up on like dumbbells and all that stuff, fitness equipment, and video games and puzzles. Those would be the 3 things that I would definitely source. And, DVDs and everything else like that too. But those were
right, DVDs.
But
yeah, even books.
Yeah, even books. Yeah. I don't know if the country can be shut down like that again, or will be allowed to be shut down like that again. It'd be pretty hard to tell us to go back in quarantine for a month and a half.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully we don't have to.
Yeah. Hopefully with the summer coming and everything lightens up and we can get back to normal. And this is just a memory like Y2K was, So, but yeah. But BrickSeek, you were asking about BrickSeek, and that is a website that you can do multiple things. Mainly look for stuff that's going on clearance that day or the day before on Walmart, Target, Office Max, and Lowe's. So if you're looking for any of that stuff from any of those manufacturers, then you can go and look. And also BrickSeek. You can take something and check quantity. It'll tell you how many quantity they have at each store, if they have none, or if they have a couple, or if they don't have an accurate count, then they'll tell you that too. But
so what's the timeline? I missed the beginning. So when you check it, it tells you the inventory from what was the time period?
You can do it for today. That stuff just went on clearance today.
Okay.
And also from yesterday, and then the most popular ones after that.
Ooh, that is good because
there's a free subscription, a $9.99 subscription, and then a $39. And I do the $9.99 just because it does a couple extra things. But I would start off with the free, and that's what I did in the beginning, and get familiar with it for sure. And then if you want to upgrade from there, you can do that. But it's definitely a way to find stuff that, even for personal use, I found stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, I want that. And I went there and picked it up because I wanted it and I saw it on sale. It just went on sale. So
thinking of it that way, like the beyond the resale, even for personal use, you'd pay for the subscription.
Yeah, but just the one-time thing, saving money, and then knowing exactly which store to go. And here's another trick. You can call them and have them hold it for you. So if you're on your way, this is insider information you can use.
This is good. This is good. I'm holding the clay.
Yeah.
Now, because the interesting thing is, like, I've been like a lot of these places have their own apps.
Yep.
And like you can actually order and then do the pickup, and I've done that myself manually at some different places, but I love the idea of being able to scan them all at once. And I need to check that out.
Especially like when I was doing video games and stuff like that, I could look it up, see what it's selling for on eBay, see what it's selling for on Amazon, if I can sell it on Amazon, and then go pick them up. And at Christmas time, it is you can make a lot of money at Christmas time because that's the way a lot of people do. Now, a lot of people have that app, so they go and do that. But like I said, if you're looking for something specific, or if you know that something's, the season's ending and you want to find something on sale, like Walmart had pools on sale for $59, the bigger ones. I didn't get one, but I saw on there that they had the big pools, the up overground pools for $59. So I was like, man, that's a good deal. And there's tons of stuff. Keurig, go there, and then. Anything you think of at Walmart or Target. Target's a good one because they have more of the upper end stuff, and then tools and stuff Lowe's. So Lowe's
Is
definitely an advantage at Lowe's. So
yeah, is that an
Office
app
Max.
or
Office Max is the other one. So
Office Man?
yeah,
Is that an app or is it a desktop or both or what?
it's on your desktop. I can
Desktop.
do it if you want me to show
Yeah,
you.
I'd love to see it.
Yep,
Hey,
let me get it up. I got tons of apps on here, but let me pull it up. Let's see.
Cody walking. I think he's without Clay's caddy again. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
He's out walking today. I think he's going to take several days off from reselling.
All right. Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, there we go.
You see it? You see my screen?
Yeah, it's up.
BrickSeek, yes, BrickSeek.
See, you've been on Alibaba.
Yeah, tons of Alibaba. Like I said, I was looking for costumes and stuff like that. So I was looking on there for them. I'm going to buy them from the U.S. But
yeah.
So here you go. You got on deal alerts and stuff like that. But here, let me sign in. Let's go to the dashboard. So yeah, so you can. These are my stores near me, and so I can pick the stores that I want to go to.
Right.
You know, you can do Office Max or anything. Walmart's, all the different Walmarts by me. So I have a whole bunch of them.
How often do you? I'm thinking for me, I'm all about like to me, like while I'm happy, I might see myself checking this to see what's new for that day early in the morning.
Yep, that's what I do. Let's see. So those are all the Walmarts near me. This is Walmarts I have. So that tells you
a lot to choose from.
Lots to choose from, but let me go here. So today's, like I said, today's marked down, so you can do, Macy's, that's another one. So big Macy's fan. I can't see the questions, so yeah, this is stuff that's going on sale today. You can see all this, just different stuff.
Right.
You can go computers, like this HP laptop for $199. Some stores, like if you click on it, some stores, they don't mark it down all that way, so you have to check the stores.
Right.
But
can you sort like by percentage off, or are there different sorting options?
Yeah, there's different sorting options, not by percentage off, but definitely by you could do popular searches by store, and then the $39 one has more. So you could look at this laptop regularly, three something.
343.
Yeah, so I would go to the Delta Shores, which is like 10 minutes away from me, and I could get 199 over there. They have two or three in stock, and then turn that around and sell it on whatever. I could sell it on eBay or offer up. But you can see, like, this one is limited stock, so I'd call them to see if they had any. Have them double check. But look, everybody's out. Locked in. That's about 30 minutes away. So if I really wanted to go and pile up on these, stuff like that.
So like on that one where it says quantity 3 to 4, let's just say you wanted to pick that up. You'd give them a call and say, hey, is there any way you could hold this? I'm on my way to pick up however many you got.
Exactly.
Nice.
So you can search by UPC or SKU. So that's different things. So
now this is where do you use Snap also?
Do I use what?
Snap Seller tool?
I do not. I have not used that one.
Well, I can show you that. I think it would pair very nicely with BrickSeek. Because it's an extension. Here, I'll just show you in a second. Like I was just thinking, like that laptop, I would look it up on eBay. Without the app, I'm doing the manual comps, which is fine. So Snap Seller tool, what it does is it analyzes your search, and it gives you. Here, let me just show you. Or are you still? Are you still?
I was just messing around. So we can go back to whatever.
All right, so I'll share mine, and I'll just, let's see. So I think it would pair very nicely with BrickSeek.
Let's see.
All right, so I just pulled this up. Kevin asked about sales today.
Okay. Yep.
I'm running an end of the month sales.
Yep.
Through the next couple of days. But all right, so do you remember what that laptop was?
It was an HP. I didn't. Let me see. Hold on one second. Oh, I didn't save it. You want me to grab it?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I can use Snap Seller tools so we can
Okay.
see what this would look like.
Okay, let me pull that up. I'll take a second.
No problem.
I have tons of, as you saw, tons of apps open. So
I'm the same way. Like people.
Okay, so
tabs open.
Yeah, it's a HP 15.6 inch laptop, Intel Pentium, and 5,000 for gigs of RAM. How can you look it up?
However you got. All right, so you said an HP 15.6. What else?
Intel Pentium N5000.
M-Pot. I'm sorry. One more time. M.
N5000. Yeah.
Let's just try that.
Oh, 5,000. It's 5,000. Yeah. And then it doesn't have a UPC. Oh, yeah, it does have a UPC. But did you need that or no?
I think that's enough.
Okay.
Is it like the 4 gigabyte RAM?
Yeah, it's 4 gigabyte red.
Okay, so if you see my screen tool, whatever you type in here, it calculates. It'll tell you the average sell price. And what's really lovely is the sell-through rate. It's 273%. So this thing is going to last for about $306. So what I would do is then change it to make sure we're getting the best comps. And I will actually pull up the comps to verify. Oh, and of course, my computer. It's on sale for $199 basically.
Yep.
So there's 14. There's 14 available new. I even give you the suggested price.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's awesome.
And I don't know what's happening. Like it should switch sold, but I don't know. My computer's acting funky right now. But just use here. If the average sell price was 306, I mean, some selling for higher.
Right.
If you're getting with tax, I don't know, say maybe quarter, then you just got to decide those margins because you know it's going to
exactly. You'll have to
is it worth
your eBay fees and picking it up and shipping it. But if that's all worth it, you're making a profit and it's selling how many times a day?
Well, there's 38 available. If it's selling 273, I mean, what's that? It's probably selling 80, 90 times a day on eBay.
Yep, exactly. But
so that would.
But I would take that and then sell it up on Facebook or offer up or whatever, so I wouldn't have to pay shipping. You know, I'd put listed on eBay, but definitely.
There we go. 106 have sold recently.
Yeah, see, there you go. So.
And then let's sort at the top.
That's just one item, so you can see how BrickSeek can help you in your business. If you're
and I guess you would want to make sure you have the exact model, of course. All the
yeah, of course, exactly. You definitely want to take the SKU or the UPC and run it and go from there. But yep.
That's sweet. So yeah, those two pair up real nicely.
Yeah, it definitely does. Now, does that cost?
Yeah, well, they give you a free trial,
and
I got this from our Patreon group. Then I think it's $9.99 a month. So to me, it's not that expensive. You got to figure out what you're saving using that for doing it. The sell through rates are color coded. Green is good. Yellow is like it's okay. Red, tread lightly.
Yeah.
So it gives you feedback instantly. Wow, so that's a good one. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that one out.
And tell that to Clay too. Have him look it up, because I know he was talking about doing the same.
Was he? Yeah.
Doing some RA, I think he was talking about doing RA. So
yeah, the only R. Yeah, I used to do RA like on shoes. Like I would go to Nike outlets. We have a Nike clearance outlet, probably about 30 miles away from my house. So I would drive down there on their 20 or 30% off, plus it's already clearance.
Right.
I guess the thing about RA, especially when you're talking about these laptops or shoes that are new, it does take more capital.
Right.
But, as a reseller, you start out selling, most of us do garage sales, thrift stores, build up that capital. And then the way I look at it, I don't know, I'm just testing the theory that RA could either complement or maybe even eventually kind of take over. If you, depends on the returns, like you're killing with RA.
Right.
So maybe the used one-offs kind of becomes the dessert. You find the I got a CRT, one of those old school 13-inch TVs at an auction I bought,
right,
and I sold it within a couple of days of being listed on it. And after everything, I profited like $80. So that maybe those things can be the dessert if you can figure out the RA really well.
Also, at Walmart, do you know about the super secret clearance? Do you know about that? There's like you take the Walmart app and you scan the clearance items, and usually not always, but sometimes it's like 10-20% cheaper than what it's listed on the item. So you can go in, take your Walmart app, scan it, and then the sticker says it's $20, but you can scan it with the app and make sure it's $20, or it's usually cheaper. Like,
oh wow,
half the time it's cheaper because it's been sitting a while, and you can not on the stuff that we did on BrickSeat, but when you're there, you could definitely scan it with the app, because sometimes it's cheaper with the app. So
no, I didn't know that, but thanks. Yeah. That's
so I'm giving out all sorts of gems out today, I guess.
I love it, man. I'm Texas Treasures. I got a treasure chest, and I just try to collect little nuggets from people.
That's right.
And maybe share it with myself occasionally.
I'm gonna get off here, but it was good talking to you, and I'll be listening in the chat. So,
all right. Well, thanks for coming on, and
and we could talk more about this on Thursday too. So,
all right, definitely. All right, thanks again, Scott. Have a good weekend. Later. Man, those are some good. Man, Scott, if y'all haven't checked out his channel, Dumpster Diver Dad, he does some dumpster diving, but his main thing is Amazon. He does eBay also, but the RA game, the retail arbitrage. Now, I love vintage antique collections, and I will always do that. But I think as a reseller things, and he just gave some good information. So I think I will be checking out BrickSeek, and in combination with Snap Seller Tool, I think that's a really good comment. It'll take more capital to play that game, but I've been selling long enough where I can dip my toes in those waters a bit. All right, so we've done number one. Oh, happy birthday, Mike. Sorry, all those comments we were talking about. Happy birthday, man. A vintage piece of for your birthday. All right, let's talk about the Bolo Buzz. I'll share you with the best sell I had of the day, which will be, let's see. Nope, not that. Actually, that CRT. Here we go. So, like I was telling Scott, I picked this old school CRT 13-inch TV. It's got the built-in DVD. It's got the built-in red, white, and yellow plugs. Tested it. Everything works. DVD works. And apparently, I was talking to my son about this because he plays a lot of the older Super Mario's games. Like, gamers want these TVs because some of those old don't don't play so well on the new TV. So the gamers will use these little TVs. And I picked this up for $5, and then I sold it with shipping. I think it was like, well, here you go. It was 50, this was 50 because it was on my 50% week. I do price at the high end of the market. Probably could have got a little bit more if I hadn't had such a big sales week going on. But I only paid $5, and I charged 60 for plus 27 using FedEx. So I made about $80 on this. So there's the model number MD13N1. So if you come across these guys, if you didn't already know, look them up. Good thing about electronics, model numbers are quick and easy to look up, and the sell-through rate on this was really. I found this on an auction, so it was easy to look up, and $5 was a no-brainer. So vintage CRT TVs, something you want to keep your eyes out for. I also have this week, like this week, smaller selling items, like all these estate sales and auctions. Like I've been buying over the past couple of months, books that I got for pennies, literally, some 15, 20 bucks. Some electronics, a lot of my Nike headbands and things that from storage unit that I have been selling, still selling, selling some collectibles. A vintage clock went out this week. So a myriad of things, and even some new items that I've already started my retail arbitrage. A few of those have been selling also. So it's been good. But I will say this, like I've been going hard at this, let's just say since March when we were on spring break, and that's kind of when this pandemic kicked in. And I've been doing 10, 12-hour days, 5, 6, well, usually 6 days a week. So I've probably been putting in 60 to 70 hours a week reselling. And I've made a lot of progress. I hit $10,000 on sales for May, and May's not even over yet. So I might do a little bit better than that, but I've already hit 10,000. I put in a lot of work, and I've been doing the Patreon call with Day the Refinement and that group, and learning a lot of things and applying some of the things. And like what Scott just shared, that's a perfect example. Like that's a great nugget. And I'm definitely going to implement that. Like, don't be scared to pay for subscription. If you think it can bring in more money, like the way I look at it, is a subscription going to save me time? Is it going to allow me to source better, to source more efficiently? And then you've got to constantly evaluate on your model. Should you still be using those? Like I used to use List Perfectly to cross list, but I was doing a lot of clothing. So I would cross list from eBay to Poshmark. I'm now not doing very much of any clothing. So I canceled that subscription. That was a big subscription. What else? Sellhound. I used to use Sellhound. Also, because if you know about Sellhound, you take the pics of your clothing or whatever, and it only takes a minute or two. You send that to Sellhound. They research. They give you a suggested price. They fill out the description, the title, and they send it back to you. So it does save you time. Now, the negative on Sellhound, I don't think Sellhound does a great job with their pricing or their descriptions. Like I would give them like a B-. Like you really need to double check. Sometimes we're really off on their pricing. Most of the time, the descriptions are good, but they only do clothes and shooting. So if you're not going to be in those categories, why would I have that subscription to Sellhound? Now, Clay's Closet, who's usually on here, and if you're listening, Clay, hope you're enjoying your walk. And take some time off this weekend, recharge, so you can get back to the reselling game. Clay uses Sellhound, and that makes sense because he does a lot of clothing. So you just got to kind of evaluate. Like the apps I think off the top of my head I currently use, I use WorthPoint, and that's like depending on what I think I have the $39.99 one, but that like eBay will give you the past 90 days. Terapeak goes back the past year, and that comes with your eBay store subscription. But WorthPoint goes, I don't know how many years, like 10, 15, 20 years back on eBay sold. So if you're dealing in the more rare items, the collectible, the antique, the vintage, then WorthPoint is worth considering getting. And keep in mind, these are all, you can all write these off as expenses when you do your taxes too. I always keep and my biggest expense, my biggest subscription, which I think it'll Lori. She's like an expert. She has a PhD. She's an antique appraiser, like world renowned. And I paid $499 for a 6-month subscription. And matter of fact, I did that because I've probably sent 20. All right, one thing at a time. So you take the pictures, information you have, you send it to her, and usually she will get back with you and give you some information on the item, tell you what the retail value is based on her expertise and what items similarly sold for. And like I found a book. The reason I got it, I have this book I found in one sells early 1800s. I couldn't find it on eBay. I couldn't find it on Terapeak. I couldn't find it on WorthPoint. And then so I sent it to her. Shot back a value of $1,000. Now, will it probably take me forever to sell it? Yeah, it may. But without her expertise, I never would have found out how valuable that book was, because that's her world. But I'll show you an example. Let's pull it up here first. This week for here. I was telling this in the group with Kevin, Scott, Clay, Jody. Hey, here, let me pull this up real quick, and I will give you an example. So I was at an auction, and I came across here. All right, here we go. All right, let me show you. I wanted to find it first. All right, so let's share the screen. So this right here, there was a lot of paintings, and this was one of two. The second one doesn't appear much. And it's a Native American painting, right? And when you look at the wood is really old. And let's see. And on the back, you have this biographical note, James M. Flagg, artist, and that gives you some biography about him attached to this painting. Well, James M. Flagg was a famous American illustrator, artist. He created Uncle Sam, the iconic Uncle Sam from World War II that we've all seen. That was created by this artist. And so this biographical flag note was attached to the back. And I do watch Dr. Lori on YouTube, and you could tell just this thing is really old. The way it was nailed in. See how they nailed the back of the foot, the weakness, string, the deterioration of the backing, in combination with this old wood. So I sent this to Dr. Lori, and she told me, she said it doesn't look like his mature works, but he a lot of different mediums. So thinking that, and if you read the back of it, let's see, M.H.D. Young, Flagg did a lot of artwork for M.H.D. Young, and Scott, you might know this. You're out in the California area, and so I researched M.H.D. He was like a connoisseur of art, and there is currently a museum in San Francisco that was established by him. So what it appears is that Flagg painted this for M.H.D. Young, and probably earlier in there. Unfortunately, there's no. So when Dr. Lori, she said, I can't confirm 100% it's from him, but based on the clues, the subject, the biographical note, there's a good chance that this is a James Montgomery Flagg Native American painting, late 1800s, early 1900s, and she gave me a retail value of $1,500. And so in the description, I do note that it appears to be, because we can't, even with her expertise, we can't confirm it. But if there's an art expert, an art collector that really knows his work, or is willing to to take that chance, then this could be a really big flip. So this I am using Dr. Lori for, which I'm kind of original subject was your subscriptions, right? Which subscriptions are worthwhile? So use it for that. Like the tool I was showing Scott, the Snap. I pay $9.99 a month for that, and I think that's a great $9.99. How quick it is all that data. So if you're doing retail arbitrage, even if you're looking up one-offs, right, it's going to give you that data quickly, nearly instantly, help you make decisions on what you want to pay and what you want to pass on, and also what do you want to sell it at. So I'm curious if you guys want to comment, like what type of subscriptions are you guys paying for? Like brick is what shared, and I'll be picking that up probably tomorrow. I think I'm gonna take the weekend off from really reselling, listing, and things, but I probably will go ahead and get the subscription tomorrow, and then play around with BrickSeek, especially with a Snap Seller tool, to see how those two could work together. Any views on that listing? That's a good question. Let me take a look. I just barely got. Yeah, it's got 15 views. No watchers yet, but I figure it's probably gonna be a long tail item. You can see a lot of the other antique collectible things that I've got going. And painting, paintings can definitely, you can hit some grand slams on some paintings if you can learn what to look for. Hello, sweet Texas finds. Any sweet finds in Texas lately? Glad you could stop by. We're just talking about reselling. We had Dumpster Diver Dad on just a little bit ago, sharing some golden nuggets of advice, and that's what we're all trying to do, just to help each other out. I know for me, with that big 50% off sale I have till the end of the month. Now, keep in mind, for me to run a 50% off sale, what I do is when I'm looking at comps, I go to the very top of the market that I can go to, and then I'll even, like, let's just say I'm looking at something and it's worth $100 as the high comp. I will then do 125% of that. So I'll list it for 125, knowing each week one I'm doing a 20% off sale, week 2 is 30% off, week 3 is 40, and I finish out the end of the month with a 50% off sale. And like the number of sales that came in overnight, it was a ton of sales, and some of them were replenishables. Now, here's the other thing: if you sell replenishables, new items that you're doing RA on, and you could get a lot of them, well, when you sell a lot of those items, maybe you're only making a few bucks profit, but if you got 50 of them, if you sell 5 of them for a couple of dollars profit, like say you're doing like me a big 50% off sale, and that happened with one of my items. I sold a lot of it, and I actually had to this morning, after I sold about 5 or 6 of them, I had to go in there and manually raise the price, take it off because I didn't want to sell too many. But you get those early sales, and then that builds momentum. That moves you higher up the search rank. So even when your item comes off of sell, or you raise the price, that you will still rank up higher in the search results. So that's another really good tip. If you got replenishables, start really low when you first get them listed. Try to break even or make a little bit of profit, but you just want to get those. You just want to get those sales early on to build ranking, to move up in those results, and then move up to the top or near the top. Then you can, as you start to move up, you can start to raise your price because your items will still sell even at a higher price point because you've built that SEO, you've built that search rank. So that's a great little tip if you're doing replenishables. There you go, Scott. Brick Seek tactile arbitrage. Sorry, Clay, I do not have a donut box, but I do have my notebook. And I am going to get the full title in there, highlight in it with the orange one, which is important. And then tomorrow, while I'm having some coffee, I will check that out, mess around with that, and see what kind of goodies I can find. I did, even, Scott, I was kind of manually doing what that BrickSeek does. And even manually, you can use apps of these different stores, and you can, you can find, and I'm glad you were on, Scott. Thank you so much for that, by the way, because that's what I was trying to find. I was trying to play within the app, and there was no way to filter just under like clearance items or percentage off. But it seems like that app did what I was looking for. And that's exactly what I was looking for. And I've heard of BrickSeek a long time ago, but I guess I forgot what it did. There's just so many apps out there, but that app seems like it's going to be perfect for some retail arbitrage, some RA up in the house. I'm excited. I am excited. I think I've hit all the talking points. So if you guys got any questions or any comments, feel free to shoot them out there. The live show schedule update, we will be on. I know Clay's going to be doing random different live shows. The reason I'm not doing the Reseller one like I was, it's just I'm trying to be more efficient with my time. And, instead of spending 8 hours a week on live shows, I'd rather spend maybe 3 hours and then do 5 more hours of listings. That's another 30 items I can get up and list. But I do actually love the live. And we're going to be going back to our original Thursday show with Clay, Dumpster Diver Dad, Scott, Kevin, the Thrifting Lounge, plus some other people that drop on sometimes. We've had Jody on, had Jay. If Val will face, maybe she'll pop on. We've had Nitpick Thrift on there. We've had people, and we just like to network and talk to other resellers and kind of pick each other's brains. And yeah, man, I am out of my tea. When I got the tea, well, I had a Dr. Pepper. I love Dr. Pepper. After I drank my Dr. Pepper, I got some, let me say, sweet, and then because here in Texas, sweet tea can be sweet. And speaking of Sweet Texas Finds probably knows that. He says, have you considered off-sourcing your listings, hiring someone to list for you? Yeah, Sweet Texas, I have 2 part-time listers. My son lists for me part-time, and my daughter's boyfriend, Andrew, he also resells, and he works for me part-time. And that's what I was saying earlier in the show, like on this table, these that I have, because there are a lot of vintage clothes. Like I research them, like those. Oh, over here, this is something else. I went to Dr. Lori. I don't have these listed. Those are antique Japanese Dr. Lori Day 1865 and the like 1800s, and they're not. You would think they'd be worth more, but they're are worth about $100. But that's really cool. I picked those 2 up for $5. I don't know if it was an estate sale or an auction. They all kind of blur together. But anyway, this type of stuff, I will research it. You can see on that white milk glass lamp, and the other lamp, that's a Martha Stewart lamp. I will give them the title. I will give them the listing price and any other pertinent information. Take the photos and go ahead and get those. put in, so that way, because I can research a lot of items and tag them, and then between the two of them, they can then come in and get them listed for me. Now, my son Justin, ear infection, I guess, been swimming in our pool and he got some water in his ear, and so he had to go to the doctor to get some antibiotics and some drops. So he's kind of been out a week. Drew was working a week. They're actually moving out of their Austin apartment. They go to college down there, to Utah, and coming back up. So he's been gone for the past couple of days. So it's just Texas Treasures, man in the show by himself, but that's okay. I got my orange highlighter, I got my pen, I got my magnifying glass to look up marks, I've got my tape gun, I've got my monster knife I picked up at a garage sale to slice some boxes. I think I'm losing my mind. Look at that blade. Got some tape on it. See where I've been cutting up the tape. That's the thing though. Like I can man the fort, but definitely Texas Sweet Finds. Having part-time or even full-time listers is the way to go, because we all know as we do this more, our knowledge and our sourcing are the most important things to make money. So if you can have somebody help with your shipping, if you can have somebody help with your listing and your other items that don't require, because if you think about it, the brains, right, this right up here, this is what makes all the money for resellers. Now, taking photos and other things, that's a skill, and the more skills needed, the higher you have to pay, but all that can be taught. Yeah, thanks again, appreciate that. Yep, Chrome extension, nice. Sweet Texas, and what's your first name again? Sweet Texas. This is where I need Clay. Clay's got all the names. I'm not as good with names. I'll try to be. He said, I plan to hire my brother. It's getting to the point where I need to. Do you pay per listing? Ooh, I love that. That's a great question. That's a great question. We talk about this all the time in our Patreon call, because we're all, in the Patreon call, we're talking about scaling up and growing. And like this week, like this is what Chris, Daily Refinement, told us. He goes, you guys in my Patreon call, expectation should be 100 per week. You should be able to do in a week. That's based on 15 days, 6 days a week, you know, maybe a little bit more, 20 listings a day, 5 days, however you want to play the numbers. 100 listings a week is a lot, but that's a very experienced reseller that can crank out 100. But if you can, the average person, if you train them, you know, even if they can get 4 or 5 listings an hour, and even if they're working 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, 20 hours a week work, 4 listings an hour, 20 listings a week. Just say your average profit is $20 an item, just to make the math simple. So they're getting 40 listings up, $20 profit. So what is that? That's 800. What was it? Gosh, is my math right? 40. I'm sorry. 40 listings, $20 profit. No, golly, I'm having a brain fart. Help me out with that. All right, here we go. It's been a long week. The zeros. 40 listings, $20 profit. Yeah, it's 800. That just seemed low to me. 800. And if you're paying them, like I pay per hour, but some people pay per listing. I think the average price per listing, depending on what all they do, if they do the whole process, is probably $3 or $4 per listing. I paid like 12 bucks an hour. I'm kind of expecting, you know, at least 4 listings an hour. So that comes out to like $3 per listing. So if they're listing $800 worth of inventory profit, if you did that for 90 days, then what you list in a day is what you would make. So you would bring in $800 a day profit after 90 days of doing that consistently based on the average sell-through rate. So if you're paying them 12 bucks an hour for 20 weeks, that's $240. So they're bringing in $800 profit minus the 240. And what is that? So you're making, so they make 240, but that's an extra 560 for you without you having to do much else. Now you'll have to train them and kind of them a little. Oh, Lorena, you were on Clay's show. Yes, 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 yes. I'm feeling that. If you're free, you want to pop on. By the way, Lorena has a beautiful. I was checking it out. There's a lot of HGTV, and so we're always looking at chickens. And I was checking out kitchens. Can have a chicken in a kitchen. Yeah, a beautiful kitchen. Yeah, the magnifying glass. I think 10x you can get, but it's really good for finding marks, things that are just hard to see. And if you're going to be doing antiques, vintage, collectible, I would say a magnifying. You get them on eBay or Amazon pretty cheap. In fact, I need to put a link to a magnifying glass in my description. Yeah, man, my brain is right. $800. And believe it or not, I'm actually good with math. My brain. It's been a long week. Oh, I'm glad you could find it beneficial. I'm just regurgitating some of the things that I've learned through the Patreon call from other resellers, and some of my own. And that's kind of the whole point, is just to grow. We all have, like Mike know about electronics or electronics in general. Mike's channel, Flipping Goodies, he does a lot of that. He's killing it. And Mike says, do $4 a listing sounds better to me. And I guess that probably depends on your state and the quality of your lister. Like my son Justin, like he's got a degree in film studies, so he's really good at, like, he can edit, he can take photos, use the like for him, he'll use the Canon T6i, which I'll use it sometimes too. And he'll batch all the photographs together, then he'll take the drive and upload them on his desktop, and then finish all the listings up there. And so I pay him a little bit more. He's got the know-how for all the film and the photos and the editing. He can slack off on you. Yeah, well, they can. Gotta know your employee. If it was someone I didn't know, probably per item. It's kind of weird. Maybe per item, maybe they just rush through them and they get a little. So I have cons on both ways. I think it probably just depends on the individual, and they probably both can work for you. Or you could do per item. I was even thinking about doing a commission to ensure that they do really good listings. Maybe you do $3 with 5% commission on sales, so you encouraging to make really good listings. I haven't actually done that, but I was kind of kicking that idea around in my head. Let's see. Lorena says, Flipping Goodies. Yeah, my brother is not the most motivated person, and since it's family, yeah, and that's the problem. Like my son Justin, he does great work, but things seem to come up a lot. Oh, I can't work this day or that day, or got this. Like right now, he's got an ear infection. That's totally understandable. Now Andrew's more motivated. Andrew resells on his own, so I think he gets it. And like we're doing the partnership on the watches, where I give him a bulk amount of watches and I buy all the batteries and I give him the tools, and he goes in, changes out the batteries. He lists them on his eBay account, and then we do a split. He keeps the majority of the money, but I get a healthy split, but it doesn't take any extra work for me. So it's a way for me to source watches, and then it's good for him. So he's learning about watches. So there's just, I don't know, there's just a lot of factors there. Yeah, commission can be a good idea. And these are the type of things we kick around every morning. Like I was saying earlier, this was today's prompt from Chris. He goes, the most important thing you can change is your environment. How are you going to improve your working environment? Then I looked around my working environment, and like I showed y'all earlier, it's kind of a hot mess right now. Like my listing table, I need to take out the trash. I need to organize my tape guns. I need to get my boxes organized. All these things that you can do to be more efficient. will benefit you long term. And then the other thing, he's like, hey, you guys, 100 listings a week. So imagine that if you got 100 listings up a week, $20 profit, you're looking at $2,000 profit. Sell that up with a list. You know, you look at some of the bigger resellers, or other companies like BFHO, the big eBay clothing store. You know, they're putting out hundreds, even 1,000 listings a day, and there's nothing to do that. So you got to get the processes down, and then get people that can help you hit those numbers. It just becomes a numbers game at that point. Whew. I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking here. All right, hold on. Let me check this real quick. Message. Scott something. Thank you. Definitely later. Matter of fact, Justin told me how many hours he worked this week, and I already got that from Andrew. Just checking my messages, guys. Ooh. My wife sent me a visit Dallas and happy National Brisket Day. So, ooh, we're in Texas. We're in the Dallas area. I'm a little bit south. I'm in Waxahachie, and we have some good barbecue in Texas. And I found this good little barbecue joint in this little town called Ovilla. It's in Ellis County. This old wooden restaurant barbecue place. And they do, like I got chopped brisket. This was a big sandwich with some tangy barbecue sauce with they have a special. You can get the plate special. You get the big sandwich. You can get a soda. Got to get the Dr. Pepper. And then a big bag of chips. Got some Cheetos. And and that sandwich was amazing. Amazing. I love some barbecue. Matter of fact, you can tell it's getting around dinner time because my mind goes there. I'm kind of out of things to talk about, guys. I don't have Clay. I know Clay's here. Clay could just ramble non-stop, which can be a good thing at times. So I don't have much else. I got any questions, comments? Let's catch up on the comment stream. Out of all the lives that's in, and this has been the most informative in regards of scaling. I am green in this area. I have to go, but I appreciate the info. Bye, Tex, if you ever come to Waco. Ooh, thank you for that. I'm gonna put that down in my notebook, Lorena. And I do love San Antonio. We try to get at least once a year. I love it around Christmas time when all the lights are up and it's not so hot, because I don't like anything other than y'all are definitely hotter. But thank you for those kind words. I appreciate it. Scott really brought some info bombs today, and I'm glad I brought some useful information for you on that. More about that. Maybe you can come on a Thursday night with us if you're free. So have a good weekend, Lorena. Danica, you know about the barbecue. Danica's in Fort Worth. She knows. What's the best barbecue place in Fort Worth, Danica? Let me know. Scott wants to know if they deliver. Now, come on, Scott. Scott's in California. Those Cali boys, they don't know about real barbecue. Stick to your tofu. Stick to your spring rolls. I'm just giving you a hard time. There's Val. Val's been kind of quiet. Got any mystery boxes going out, Val? Hey, David. Good to see you. Glad you could stop by. Hope everything's going well for you. And Lady Luck Junk. All right. Now, Clay, I always make this 5 times. We like Clay. We like to mess with. I'll probably screw it up. I get tongue tied. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna pretend like I'm Clay for a moment. Everybody out there, try this. Try this by yourself. You're gonna say Lady Luck Junk quickly 5 times in a row without screwing up. All right, we're gonna count down. We're gonna try this. Come on, Clay. Where you at? If you're listening, Clay, do this. Can you say much? 3, 2, 1. Lady Luck Junk. Lady Luck Junk. Lady Luck Junk. Lady Luck Junk. Ooh, I did it. 5 in a row. Didn't screw up. Oh yeah, I do love sushi, Scott. Man, my daughters, well, my whole family, but especially my daughters, especially Emma, my youngest daughter, loves sushi. See, that's my problem. I love too much food. I didn't get this healthy. I'd be skinny like Clay if I didn't love food so much. And that's the thing. Clay literally will forget to eat. Like he will just say, "Oh, I'm busy." How can you forget? My stomach tells me, "Hey, feed me." All right, like, I gotta eat. California rolls, right? Some avocado. No boxes up yet. Still need to weigh them out. Yeah, I need to get to you. Golly, I need to see brands. These shoes but I can send you those brands. All right. I'm getting as bad as Clay. I need a donut box. Send Val email. All right, oh my gosh, where'd it go? Where did my highlighter go? It's bad. Oh, there it is. So you gotta get your work area organized. I am not organized. I know you need to get like a patch for doing that. Did you have one nice sale today? Melanza sweater. Oh, wow, a $200 full price. See, I don't even know the sweater brands. If Kevin was here, he'd probably know. That's impressive, Al. Congratulations. How much did you source that for? Very nice. Very, very nice. Now I've got barbecue on my mind. Sushi. What if they do a sushi barbecue? That'd be gross. All right. Well, I kind of want to hear what Val sourced that for before we end the show. $200. I've never so like that's suit money. That like I've never sold a piece of clothing for $200. That's nice. And that's the thing. Like whatever your niche is, you got to learn it. You got to research it. You got to go deep into it. 69. Wow, 69. That's the real price. Okay, yeah. $60 to tripled your money. It's okay. So good. It's okay to pay up if you know the comps and what that will bring for you. And that's a perfect case. Cold chicken, Danica. Boo. Boo. Go get you some warm barbecue. That was on Poshmark, I'm guessing. I don't think you're on eBay, are you, Val? You're just on Poshmark? Love full sale prices. Like right now, my big eBay 50% off sale. My sales are coming in, but the margins are not where they'll be. But next week, come Monday, I go to the month, so I'll only do a 20% off sale. So that's going to seem my ROI will really bounce up. And here, let me show you that real quick. Data. I wish Lorena was still here because she's trying to learn about data. So this traffic report on eBay is so important. It kind of gives you the summary, the number of impressions, page views, quantity sold, click-through rate, and sales conversion. And then it compares it to the previous month. And basically a month ago, I joined the Patreon group. And here are the things I've done that have increased these numbers. I'm promoting most of my items at 1%. I'm doing free returns on most items unless it's a lot of shipping cost. On some items, I'm even doing free shipping if it's lightweight, first class, and there's a lot of competition. Yeah, I think those are the three main things that I switched over to. And you can see what it did. My impressions are up 180%. Page views are up 45%. And quantity sold, there's the big number. It's up 127%. And then you can look on each day. And the interesting thing, like early in the month, these numbers are lower because I do my lower sales. And as the sell percentages get higher, and they usually peak on Sunday when my sales end, like all these peaks are usually Sundays. Yep, Sunday, May 3rd. Sunday, May 17th. Where's the 10th? Sunday, May 10th. And this is where I've been doing my 30%. I started, now, I forgot to do my 50% off sale on Monday. Now, here's the interesting thing. So this was my 40% off sale ended Sunday, and I had 113,000 impressions. I had 10 items sold. The interesting thing is Monday, I forgot to turn on my new sale. It did drop, but it didn't drop as much as I thought. And the items that sold pretty much sold for full price. And so Monday and Tuesday, I didn't have any sales on. But what happens is your store builds momentum. The more you sell, it's like eBay likes that, and you get pushed up in the search algorithms and the SEOs. And so even if you take that stuff away for a day or two, you still kind of get some of those residual benefits. And then here I turned on my 50% off sale, and you can see it picking up, right? I had 9 sold the other day, 11 sold 9 on Wednesday, 11 on Thursday. And you can see the impressions and all these numbers picking up. And here's where we are today, and the day's not over, and I've already had 11 sell today. And this is what I was telling Chris, like for June, I'm going to keep doing everything I was doing, but I'm moving, when June 1st starts, I'm moving my promoted listings to 2%. And at the end of June, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to compare what that extra 1% promoted did, and then analyze that to see, is it worth it? Is the amount of sales I brought in worth the extra fee for doing that extra 1% of promoted? So this traffic report is a really important tool to kind of dig in and try to learn about. Because before I joined the Patreon group, I was doing about 1,000 to 1,200 a month. And making these changes and joining that group, I'm almost at $6,000 sales on eBay over the past month. So it's definitely been beneficial. All right, sorry, I nerded out there a little bit. Quick sales too, I don't like paying up, but I knew it would sell. Yeah, so fast sell-through rate based on comps and the sell-through rate. That helps you make that decision. All right, guys, I think I'm out of words and I'm out of topics. So thanks for joining in. Make sure y'all check. Oh, by the way, if you haven't liked, go ahead and smash the like button. It helped me out. I'm not doing as many of these. I am trying to upload a couple of regular videos per week. Like I had one on my $10,000 in sales the past month. And I also had a $100,000 on Poshmark video I released about a week or so ago. So y'all check those out if you got time, if you haven't checked them out. Since I've been doing all these lives, I'm not gaining subscribers. I wish I could gain subscribers doing the lives. I gain the hours and I love the lives. But from my experience, you've got to publish regular videos also, and that takes time. So I'm spending a little bit more time creating a couple of videos a week to upload in addition to the listing and in the lives. And we will be back Thursday evening, 7 p.m. I'm sure Clay will be there, Scott, Dumpster Diver Dad, maybe Kevin, the Thrifting Lounge, plus anyone else who can pop on. Yep, I've missed the lives. It's good to see you too, Val. David, well, so that would be something I'd want to talk to you about, David. Maybe you can pop on a live show, maybe on Thursday. How many listings do you have? All these, there's so many factors in those impressions, but we can tinker with that to try to get those up. I've been watching. Yeah, thank you so much, Val. I appreciate that. Appreciate all the video love. And by the way, Val Milk has some great videos. She's got so much personality. She's so funny. She also has some good mystery she sells. So y'all check her out, especially if you want to buy some clothing. Where is Clay? Clay is walking. Here, let me read his text. I don't want to misquote. Let's read Clay's. I messaged him like, hey, you coming on? You want to come on? And this was unannounced, so I mean, to be fair, let's see. He said, golly, I said, you want to do the live show? He said I would, but he's heading to Angie's to walk. Does that mean he's walking to Angie's, or is he driving his car? Angie have his car. I don't know. I had told people I probably today. I think he was going to do a live show at 5 today. But then Angie wanted to walk, and he'd rather do that, so he's going to walk over. Yeah, he's walking over there. No comments. I've also been told I pick on Clay too much, and I told him I'm sorry if it comes across as I'm picking on you. I'm just try to look out for him, try to push him. Go on, Clay. If I get home, you're still on, I can pop on, but not sure how long we'll walk. Clay's on a walk to Angie's to go hang out with his cousin. She is cool. I've met her. She's really sharp and cool person, so I get it. So that's where Clay is. Valamilk is a slacker on YouTube. Yeah, it's just all this stuff takes time, right? The shooting, the videos, the editing. Like there for a while, I was doing like a video a day, and that's when I was really getting a lot of growth. I went from like 100 subscribers to around 450 in a short period of time, at least for me. But since the 450, I'm only at 569 now, and I've kind of been stalled in the mid 500s for a while. But I've also been doing too many live shows, unfortunately, if there's such a thing. It's all good. No, I think I do too hard on him. Like his mind works like my mind. Like I can just grind it out, set plan, work like a mad person, make it happen. Clay has to get his mindset right. Like some of the things he stresses about, like right now he's stressing on bookkeeping. So with Clay, you can't push too hard, but he'll have some days where he'll just have a 12-hour listing day. So I'm trying to get to the point where I'm not judgmental. Everybody's got to do what works best for them. But at the same time, I kind of push him too. Hey, Swamp Picker, how's it going? We're just winding down the show here. And we're just talking about Clay, and Clay's not on. All right, so with that, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Everyone have a good weekend. Jay, plug your ears, and we'll see y'all Thursday on the next live show. Everybody have a good weekend. Get you some barbecue or some soup. Peace. I'm out.